Hi everyone, welcome to Infinity Bottle Evolution. I am your host EJ, here as normal, exploring the wonderful world of infinity bottles. This is the ongoing series that is exploring our infinite infinity bottle. So what is that? Infinity bottle is a blend of different spirits to create something unique in itself. And what this particular series does is it explores combining different folks' infinity bottles into one master infinity blend. This blend right now, made up of 5 different things. This is a collaborative series. If you have an infinity bottle out there, I want to get you involved in this. I want you to be part of this project. I want you to be able to taste this project. We'll talk a little bit more on how to make that all happen in the end. But this bottle, as it sits right now, is made up of 5 different infinity bottles. It has some of my infinity bourbon bottle in the mix. It has some of Broken Kevin's infinity bottle, mostly bourbon based up in New York. We have some of my local friend Ben's infinity bottle, which is made up of mostly bourbon right here in Pennsylvania. We have the HDFN blend coming from Squirrely Man in Texas. We also have Infinite Barrel Whiskey, which is it's a distiller who actually blends different products, and they have an infinite barrel going. So right now we have about 5 ounces in the mix here, guys. And what we're going to do today is we're going to be making this a little bit odder and weirder. The whole idea here is that it's going to be mostly whiskey based, but we're going to start exploring adding some non-whiskey products in small doses into the mix. So we have a couple submissions today. So let's talk a little bit about what we're adding today. So this is coming from our friend in North Carolina, Morgan Null. So Morgan Null, really nice person that I met on the internet, and we've been chatting about spirits in general. And Morgan, he is part of a podcast series called Long Shot Club. They explore movies, short podcast, about a half hour long or so. It's on all your major streaming services, podcast services. I was just listening to an episode on Spotify. Cool series. They kind of a group of 3 folks kind of start, then they pause, they go watch a film, and then they come back and they kind of talk about the film. Kind of neat. Definitely enjoying it. Looking forward to exploring more. But anyways, this is from Morgan Null of Long Shot Club. Check out his podcast. But Morgan was kind enough to reach out and send a few things which are going to really start to change this bottle. This bottle right now, having about 5 ounces in it, definitely has over 50 different spirits in the mix. And it's going to continue to get weirder. So today, Morgan sent us 2 things that we're going to add. Now, knowing that we want to stick a little bit more whiskey heavy, we're going to start with his Whiskeyish blend. So this blend right here is what Morgan is calling the Coachman Blend. The Coachman Blend is mostly whiskey, but it's got a lot of things in the mix that aren't necessarily things that I personally have or I would add into my infinity bottle. So I'm really excited to do a tasting of this as well as get some of this juice into the bottle to see how it evolves. So let's talk about the makeup here. This has some bullet bourbon. This has about a half a shot of Fireball in it. It has Woodinville whiskey in here. There's some Jim Beam honey in here. There's some Bird Dog blackberry whiskey in here. There's some Brow Brothers bourbon in here. There's some Captain Morgan spiced rum in here. So a little bit of rum in the mix. We got Barrel Bourbon batch number 22. Barrel's one of my favorites. We have some Amaretto in here. We have some Four Roses small batch in here. We have a little bit of Kahlua coffee liqueur in here. We got Kraken 94 proof in here. We got Maker's Mark Private Select in here, and we have Tin Cup. So this is a unique one. You know, it's not a straight up whiskey blend. It's got some other things going on. So it's really I'm interested to try it. But before we try, we must buy. And by buy, I mean buy its way into the bourbon bottle, the infinite bottle. So we're going to go ahead, and as we've done with everything up until this point, we're going to add an ounce. And then after we add, we will taste. All right, so there she is. Morgan Null, thank you for joining to the club. We're up to 6 ounces in the mix now, so pretty exciting stuff. So I'm gonna pour a sample of that, but then let's talk about the other thing that Morgan sent me. So I'm gonna let this sit for a minute, let it breathe before I actually taste it. But let's go ahead and talk about this right here. So this one, that, my friends, is a gin. That is a gin infinity, a ginfinity bottle, if you may. I'm not gonna lie, I know nothing about gin. I know nothing. I have no palate for it. I have no, it's just not my world. But I want to keep this mostly whiskey, guys. I'm planning on keeping this mostly whiskey. We're gonna add a splash. We're gonna add like a 1/10 of an ounce. You know, just a little something in the mix to keep this funky, keep this weird, keep this unique. But let's talk about this. So this is also from Morgan Null. And this one in particular, he calls the Delirium Blend. So this, and forgive me if I slaughter these names. Like I said, I know nothing about gin. This has Drumshanbo Gunpowder Irish Gin. It has Tanqueray. It has New Amsterdam Stratosphere. It has Centauri Roku Japanese Gin. It's got Death's Door. It's got Beefeaters. It's got Oak and Grist Dark Rhythm. It's got Empress 1908, and Mr. Null did tell me that's what gives it this kind of bluish tint. And it also has Emulsion Gin. So once again, I know very little about gin. What we're gonna do here, we're gonna add just a 1/2 of a teaspoon. Just a little something to keep this bad boy weird. You know, I'm encouraging you guys, you know, I'm no rules. I mean, I'm gonna try to keep this about at least 90% whiskey, of any whiskey and or scotch. But I'm not saying that nothing, you know, can't go in this bottle. So let's talk a little bit about what my intentions are here, guys. So I've been thinking a lot about this, and you know, this is a collaborative project. At the end of the day, I'm doing this for myself because I'm a weirdo, but I'm also doing it for the other weirdos out there who make infinity bottles. Let's face it, if you're making an infinity bottle, you're creative. You're a mad scientist. You are a, you know, a weirdo like me. Maybe not to my level where I'm putting together weirdos blends, but this is something that I'm making not just for myself. This is something I'm making for all of us. And this is going to be the idea. I have yet to try this. We're now at, you know, just over 6 ounces in the bottle. Kind of my commitment is I won't touch this until we're at least at 10 ounces. But this is going to be the rule. So right now, you know, let's use Morgan Null as an example. Morgan sent me a couple samples. I sent him a couple samples. I sent him a sample of my Infinity Bourbon bottle, which is currently in the mix here. I also sent him a sample of my It Ain't Bourbon Infinity Blend, which is my whiskey blend that is anything and everything that's not bourbon. I haven't yet added this in here because I'm still working on perfecting this. I did one kind of mixing session, and I poured for Morgan, and I poured a little taste for myself. And I'm not crazy about where this is right now. I'm not saying it's bad, just saying that I have some rounding out to do on this bottle. And I want to make sure that I'm happy with this bottle before I start adding it into this. But the idea here is this. I've added some of this in the mix. Eventually, I'll be adding some of this in the mix. I will only take out of here what I'm going to replace. So when the time comes that I'm going to pour some of this out, I'm going to add back equal part. So, you know, if I pour an ounce, I might do a half ounce. You know, I might pour an ounce and put an ounce in. But the idea is that my Infinity Blend, my Infinity Bourbon Blend that's in here, I think this has version 3 and this is like version 11. So this is evolving. So when I pour an ounce out of here, let me pour an ounce of this new blend of this back into here to keep this bottle ever changing. So that way I can be very communal. So the idea, Morgan, you know, down the road, I want to send you a sample of this and you send me another sample of your Infinity Blend so I can replace what I send you. So I don't want to overdo it. I want to limit that to maybe doing it like once, twice a year, an ounce. You know, as this bottle gets bigger, maybe 2 ounces is cool. But right now, you know, I want to start small. But the whole idea is that I don't want you just to send me samples to go in here and for you to try this and never get the chance to try this. So, you know, if you're out there, you have an Infinity Bourbon bottle going, you have an Infinity Scotch bottle going, you have an Infinity Gin bottle going, you have an Infinity Tequila bottle going, you have anything going, I want to taste it. I want to trade. I want to send you initially something from one of my other Infinity bottles to kind of swap. And if you have a couple going, I'm glad to do a couple swaps. But I want to build this up. The goal here, guys, I'd really like to get 50 states. You know, we got PA, we got New York, we got Texas, we got North Carolina now in the mix here. East Coast coming in strong. Midwest, West Coast, where you at? You ain't here. So let's make it happen. You know, it's a fun project. I'm having a blast doing this. I can't wait for the ability to try this down the road. But I'm glad we got the opportunity to add in here today. Morgan, as far as the remainder of this goes, I am going to pause on this for now, and I am going to actually sip this with a friend of mine who knows gin. So that way I can, you know, number one, I can get a take on it, but I can give you a take of somebody with some bartending background, somebody who's going to understand the spirit a little bit more than I will. And I certainly will follow up. But thank you so much for getting involved, Morgan. We really appreciate you being in the mix and, you know, continuing to grow our crazy project here. But let's get back to the Coachman Blend. Let's go ahead and see what's going on with this. So the nose is pretty interesting. Like I get less bourbony and more whiskey, almost more like American whiskey sort of in the nose. But I'm picking up on fruitiness. Like, and I don't know if it's just because I want to, but I almost get like some berry in there. And I know that Bird Dog Blackberry whiskey's in here. I get some spice. I get some like rye spice, baking spice sort of stuff in the mix. It's got like a little bit of ethanol burn, but it's not overpowering. It honestly, for everything that's going on in this, I'm kind of surprised the nose isn't crazier than it is. Like I can definitely like pick up on a splash of the rum in there. Maybe even the coffee liqueur are adding some different notes in the nose. And I get a little bit of cinnamon too. But I'm not getting a whole lot of other bourbon in there. I'm not getting a lot of vanilla. I'm not getting a lot of caramel. It's not overly sweet. Very, very interesting nose. Cheers, guys. Wow. That tastes like Christmas. Oh my God. That's really cool. That's really nice. That tastes like a cocktail. That doesn't even taste like a whiskey. It's sweet. It's got like a pininess to it that really coats the top of your mouth. I don't get as much in the tongue and on the sides. Like I get much more top side, which I tend to get a lot more with American whiskeys and scotches. Yeah, there's something very piney about it, but it's not just pine. There's like a molassesness to it. Morgan, you told me this was too weird to add here. I think that this is going to like do wonders in here. I think the fact that this is like bringing some brand new notes and some brand new flavors into the mix is so phenomenal. This is really good stuff. It's not what I would reach for if I wanted a bourbon, but I could see this with a splash of seltzer, being a beautiful, beautiful cocktail. Maybe even a little citrus added to this would make a really nice cocktail. I'd be interested to do like an old fashioned with this. I think that could be really, really good. It might not necessarily need much sugar though, because it's got some sweetness to it. But I think this with like a couple splashes of bitters, yeah, that's cool. That's really different. I like that. That's all right. Good stuff. Well, thank you for the submission. And you know, since we're here, I said I wasn't going to do it today, but I'm not going to do much. I'm just going to, and I don't expect to have much in the way of notes here, but just a little something so I can see what it's all about. Wow. I'm not going to try with notes. I'm not going to try to go there. Tastes like gin, but that's interesting. That's tasty. Really great submissions. Thank you so much for sending those. Thank you so much for getting involved. Guys out there, if you're watching what we're doing, please go ahead and subscribe. We have, like I said, 3 different series is going. The Infinity Bourbon Bottle series, the series you're watching right now, the Infinity Bottle series, as well as the It Ain't Bourbon Infinity Bottle series going. And there very well might be more Infinity bottles in our future. I'm probably going to be doing a few videos of some blends. There's a lot of blends out there that people rave about, you know, combining 50% this, 50% that. So I might start a little bit of a one-off here or there about those sort of things. Couple that I'm excited to do. I have Old Forester 1910 and 1920 in the cabinet, so want to blend a bottle of equal parts of that and make an Old Forester 1915, very commonly referred to on the internet as something that people really like, and I enjoy both of those bottles of bourbon really, really much. And another one that I've been hearing more and more people talk about is a combination of Buffalo Trace and Old Tub. The Old Buffalo, the Old Trace, or the Buffalo Tub. Definitely want to try that one out too. But there's a couple other things that you know, my head's always working. Last night I was sitting on my couch and I did a side-by-side of Smoke Wagon single barrel and Smoke Wagon unfiltered uncut. Just drinking them side by side. Had a little bit left of both, poured them together. Got this beautiful birthday cake in the bourbon. Really was like, whoa. Really kind of knocked my socks off. So I'm loving this blending. You know, I'd love to see what you guys are doing out there in the rest of the world. Once again, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell. That way you get those alerts when we get new videos coming up. I do provide new content, at least 1 video a week, if not 2. You know, go ahead and like our video. Go ahead and comment down below. And most importantly, if you got that Infinity bottle going, reach out. Drop a comment down below. Hey, I got a blend going. I'd like to trade. I'll get in touch. We'll coordinate, you know, how to make this all happen. But really would love to get all 50 states involved. Like I said, East Coast is in the house right now. Well, Texas, I guess Texas, South, Central. So gotta give respect where respect's due. But you know, I want to get more. I want to get more. And that's not saying that you gotta be out of state. You know, I will gladly take 100 submissions from Pennsylvania. You know, I'm not saying that because we have Pennsylvania in the mix, I don't want more from Pennsylvania. I just want to get as many people involved in this as possible. If you got any other feedback out there about infinity bottles and infinity projects, please share them. I'd love to check them out. I just finished watching this ridiculously phenomenal ongoing infinity bottle project chain video. This all happened back in, I think, 2019, but there's this guy out there, ADHD Whiskey, and I'm really enjoying Matt's content, but I first stumbled across this project he did called Beagle Rare, Kentucky Howl Beagle Rare, where he created an infinity bottle and he sent it from, you know, he sent it to Bourbon Junkies, and then they sent it along to, you know, and it went through all these different people, all these fantastic channels, which a couple of the channels I knew, you know, knew Bourbon Junkies well, knew, you know, a handful of them. I can't recall off the top of my head, but found some channels that I wasn't familiar with, like Scott Chest Dummies. Their channel was really jumped out at me. And quite honestly, the man behind it all, Matt over at ADHD Whiskey, I'm really liking his videos. They're really they're both informational and silly and serious at the same time, and I really he's got the right mentality. He's doing this for the right reasons. But anyways, point being, there's so many cool people doing cool things out there, and I want to get all those cool things in the mix here. I want to build the ultimate infinity bottle network, the ultimate infinity bottle collection, you know, and I want this to like get to the point where like I'm losing track. I think that we are probably, if I had to guess, we're like a little over 6 ounces, and there's probably like 80 different spirits in here now, which is ridiculous. But it's so cool. It's so fun, and I'm having a blast doing it. And I haven't even got to taste even the smallest drop of this yet. And I'm committed that we need another 4 ounces in this bottle before I can even consider the first pour. So thanks for watching. Blend the pain away. See you again soon.